You see, we think that if we have the right systems in place, if we can figure out how to have enough strength and charisma and emotional will and fortitude, if we can just outwork the devil, that then we'll have spiritual authority. But it's only when we recognize that there is no power and authority in and of ourselves that then, ironically, we find spiritual authority. You see, we think about it backwards. Henry Ford famously said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Now, what's remarkable is that Henry Ford didn't really create anything new, but rather he brought together all of the contraptions and devices that had been invented, put them together to make the first car. He didn't create the engine already existed, but he was able to combine that with a carriage. And people referred to it in the beginning as the horseless buggy. They looked at it and they called it by what it lacked, not by what it was. What people noticed about John the Baptist is what made him different, what he lacked. They noticed that he was out in the wilderness. They noticed that he dressed differently and lived differently. But what was really powering that ministry was not that he was different or that he was out in the wilderness, but rather that he had the power of God on his life. And when we are asked what we need, we tend to think in the frameworks of we need more systems or we need to follow these best practices, when those are great things, but they are powerless without the power of God.